people talk about tank, like, movement being a tank responsibility, and that partly makes things easier. I mean, usually for how people refer to it is your melee DPS. I actually say it's your melee DPS's responsibility. Because I've been, and this is why. I see that look on your face, but it's not
What?
No, this is why. Because I mean, I played with many different tanks who've all said, move it this way, do it this way. And I'm like, at this point, it's like, you know what? You tell me how you want the boss moved. You want it moved quickly? I'll move it quickly. You want it moved slowly? You move slowly. You tell me as the melee what works best for you, and we will do that. And that is why it's their responsibility.
That's actually not a bad take. It's sort of the same thing where it's like, I think personally that the healers should tell me where they want Addle. Until they do, I'm going to throw it out wherever I feel it's best, but it could not be in the best spot because they're the ones thinking about mitigation planning because they're the ones with all the tools. So I do kind of agree with you there. But the way that you started that was a massive bait. Massive bait.
If we were thinking about like sort of the cardinal aspects of skill expression, you would think about things like melees have their idea of greeting all the time. Healers have the idea of healing as little as possible and kind of planning that out and movement and different class of movement. What's the biggest? So we're basically making the point that tank skill expression does not exist in rotation. So where is the opportunities for skill expression?
So, like, actually, this is actually the great way you just posed that question. You started with what healers want and what DPS want, which is they want to heal as little as possible, and DPS want to greed, or I don't agree with that word, but, you know, I know what you mean. They want to greed as much as possible. You know, ironically enough, these are things that tank can influence directly. Maybe sometimes it does need to come from feedback from great DPS who know what they want, and then as a tank you can better understand what your DPS want. Same thing for healers. And then as a tank, it's your job to cater to them because everything that hits a party, like we were talking about before the stream, it goes through a filter, and the tank is the first line of defense in that filter. And so the way the party experiences the fight is largely dictated by this kind of landscape the tank is setting, by moving the boss, mitigating incoming damage. Because if a healer has lived with a great tank their whole life, and then all of a sudden you gotta get a sub and that guy doesn't know how to mitigate, you feel like you're playing a different fight.